It's Platt, and today we try a cocktail from a rock legend. That's next on Platt's Drink of the Week. Well, all right, guys, I'm really pumped for this video. We combine two things I really like, and that is cocktails and rock music. And I think we got something really special for you today. I have Sammy's Beach Bar Cocktail. Purchased a 4-pack of these for $9.99, and these are 5.5% alcohol by volume. Now, I find that kind of unique because these are actually spirit-based, which means you buy them in a liquor store. And usually, these canned cocktails are a little higher proof. I've talked about in other videos where the canned cocktails that are wine-based can get into convenience stores, grocery stores, what have you, and generally are lower alcohol-based, where the ones in the liquor store tend to be higher, but for some reason they went with 5.5% alcohol by volume on these. Now, of course, the Sammy I'm referring to is, of course, the great Sammy Hagar. Full disclosure here, I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan, big Van Halen fan, which also means I was a Van Hagar fan, which I'm sure people are going to let me know about in the comments. If you want to tell me Eddie's best work was done in the David administration, I would not argue with that. I think musically, the band, though, really blossomed under Sammy, but I digress. So, with that being said, let's start with Sammy's story. He was born October 13th, 1947 in Salinas, California, as Sam Roy Hagar. He kind of first broke out on the scene in the early mid-70s, fronting a band called Montrose. A lot of you out there, especially if you're a little bit younger, won't know who Montrose was, but they were a highly influential band, especially to bands that came further down the road, including a young Van Halen led by David Lee Roth. Go on YouTube, here on YouTube, check out some old Montrose, just really good, hard driving rock and roll. Not necessarily, Sammy hadn't gotten the quote unquote heavy metal thing yet, but just good, hard driving rock and roll. In the late 70s, Sammy went on his own and started a solo career, also started writing his own music. Had several hits, including Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy, One Way to Rock, and of course, I Can't Drive 55. Go check out that video, especially if you're a little younger and want to see how videos were made back in the 80s. Go watch that I Can't Drive 55. It will definitely put a smile on your face. Now, what probably most people know Sammy is from, in 1985, he joined Van Halen, replaced David Lee Roth as the lead singer. At the time, Van Halen was one of the largest bands, not just here in the U.S., but in the world. They had come off the 1984 album and tour. They had really just kind of blown it out. But like a lot of bands, creatively, people started to go their separate ways. Sammy came in and filled for Dave. In recent years, it has come out that they were looking at other lead singers, including Daryl Hall, Hall & Oates, and Patti Smith, just to name a few. I think we all agree that the right guy was picked for the job. He helped them create classic albums like 5150, OU812, and For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. That's not as easy to say as you think it would be. And he basically was the lead singer for about 11 years. In 1996, more creative attention came, and he left, and Gary Sharon replaced Sammy in the band. I actually saw that tour. Gary wasn't totally bad. I didn't like the album he did with them, but the tour, he did more Dave stuff than Sammy would do, and so it was a nice change of pace for sure. Sammy, over in the preceding year, in the years since then, has formed various other bands that he's fronted, including the Wabaritas, Chickenfoot, The Circle. He did do a reunion tour, I believe, in 03, 04 with Van Halen. One of the things that has happened since then is apparently he's won Michael Anthony in the separation from Van Halen. They kind of messed around with Mike on some royalties, and so Mike has been playing pretty much with Sammy for the last 20 years in all these various other bands. Luckily, before Eddie's passing, though, him and Sammy were able to kind of make amends and get back together, at least renew a friendship before Eddie passed, so that was kind of nice. Now, real quick, let's jump into Sammy's beverage empire, because Sammy, besides being a great lead singer-songwriter, also is quite the businessman. You could almost refer to him as a poor man's Jimmy Buffett in kind of way. you know, similar kind of lifestyle brand and drinking and fun at bars kind of thing. Sammy for years has owned a bar down in Cabo San Lucas, the Cabo Wabo Cantina. He's had it in a few of his videos. On the OU812 album, there's a song called Cabo Wabo, or Down in Cabo, something like that. I can't remember the name. But he's had that bar, and in 1999, he wanted to start selling his own tequila there, and that's when he came out with Cabo Wabo Tequila. In 99, he also began exporting it here to the U.S. and quickly became a popular brand. Before Patron and the ultra premium tequilas came out, it was considered one of the better tequilas. In 2007, Sammy sold the brand, or his 80% stake in the brand, to Campari for $80 million. So Sammy did all right with that. However, Sammy couldn't stay still for long, and in 2011 came out with Sammy's Beach Bar Rum. Originally it was produced in Hawaii, but I believe today the rum in these drinks is produced in Puerto Rico. He has 3 rums today. He has a platinum, a macadamia nut, and a cola cherry chill. I think the verbiage, it's a cola spiced rum, a cola spiced rum. When I use the term cola, K-O-L-A, cola nut spiced rum. They also have these canned cocktails. Besides this one, they have a pineapple splash and then the cherry cola chill that I was trying to think of. Besides these cocktails, he also has various bars and restaurants throughout the country. One in, I believe, the airport in Hawaii. I think he had one in AC that was destroyed in a hurricane. And most importantly, though, he has one on the Las Vegas Strip at Planet Hollywood. Nice little patio that faces the fountains at Bellagio. So if you want to have a cocktail outdoors and do a little people watching or whatever, great spot for that. All right, with that being said, though, let's jump into Sammy's cocktail. Let's read the can real quick. Sammy's Beach Bar Cocktails, sparkling with natural flavors. We always keep running those natural flavors. There's nothing better than a creamsicle, Tangerine Dream. So I'm applying a creamsicle flavor. Like I said, it's 5.5% alcohol by volume, and these are 12-ounce cans. So let's go ahead and jump in. Boy, I definitely get that vanilla right off the start. This is light, effervescent, 5.5% alcohol. I really don't notice. Well, I get a little, but that may just be the bubbles. But yeah, the body's nice, a little sweet. Is sweetened with agave nectar. Just saw that on the can. I believe one of the things they're selling with agave and tequilas is probiotic benefits or whatever. I don't know if we get any of that here. Yeah, I will say this though, the flavor, a lot of these canned cocktails, and I've talked about this, various flavored rums, vodka, stuff like that, they create kind of an extract or oil that goes in there, and a lot of times it will come out kind of viscous and thick, even though it may be in a sparkling water. So this is a very light body. You don't get that mouth feel that you do sometimes from some of these flavored products. This, I don't know if this is something I would normally drink because it is a little lighter. If you watch the channel, I like beer flavored beer, whiskey flavored whiskey, bigger, a little higher ABV. Generally, I like the bigger, darker beers. However, this is great for a beach, poolside kind of thing. Somebody wanting something light, something low alcohol. Not to sound, sexy anyway, but this would be a great girlfriend drink. If you want your 6-pack of whatever, buy her a 4-pack of these, and I guarantee she would enjoy it. But real nice, easy drinking. Like I said, I get more vanilla, not a lot of tangerine, but overall not a bad product. Sammy, if you need any suggestions, just call me. All kidding aside, You know, I've liked his other products, the Cabo Wabo Tequila. When he had that, the initial versions rum, when it first came out in 2011, was before I had this channel, I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of, but the newer iterations, I think they've greatly improved on. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good product. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or things from the liquor store you'd like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.